Hi everybody and welcome back to some more Ride 2 here on this channel. I'm KPG-GOONER here, and in today's episode we're jumping into a tour that was voted for in part 4 of this series. I put it to a vote at the end of the video and loads of you voted for two-stroke bikes. So we're going to do a couple of events in this, and then we may mix it up and do some other stuff as well. So there's 4 races, 4 events in this series, and also we're going to buy a new bike as well. We've got an NSR 125, but we want to see what else there is. Oh, that's alright, an Aprilia. I used to have one of them, they're awesome bikes. And a TZR. I think I'm going to go for the Aprilia. We haven't got an Aprilia yet, so let's buy that. And what colour should we go for? We'll go for the silver. Now, I actually had one of these bikes when I was younger. I actually bought a bike off a guy that was actually racing it, but he luckily still had the road item, so we re-registered it back on the road, and it was slightly quicker. I think their standard, they're 33 brake horsepower, but mine had about 45. Had an arrow system on it. And I'll tell you what, it was about 20 miles an hour faster than the standard version, and it was brilliant. But the only thing was, it didn't last too long. I think after about 2,000 miles, the thing blew up. But it was still an awesome bike. I think it did 0 to 60 in about 4.5, 5 seconds, which is pretty quick for a 125. So let's see what we can add on to this. We can go up to 170 performance points, I do believe. Yes. And I'm sorry guys for kept on saying PP points. I know a few of you have said please say what it is actually meant, and it is performance points, so I'm sorry for that. Right, let's see if we can stick a few upgrades. So that brings it up to 136, 138. Always got to have a decent air filter. Let's stick some oil. Let's crack that in. Right, what exhaust systems? It only gives us one. And of course, it's the exact system I had on my bike, the Arrow. Now that's an awesome exhaust system. Right, let's see what else we can change. Obviously, we're gonna do all the chain. Not gonna spend all the correct. No, I don't think we're gonna upgrade everything right now. We'll just put as much as we can. It's not gonna cost too much, shall we? I don't think I'm gonna bother on that one. Right, let's see if we can. Yeah, that makes a difference. Which one should we get? We'll get that one. So that's quite cheap credits wise. Right, so let's change a few bits in here. Now we've upped the power. You've got to, if you're going to up the power on a bike, you've got to modify the braking as well. Otherwise, you're going to have more power but less braking power, and that's going to cause problems. So if you're going to up the power and the speed, you've got to give yourself better brakes, calipers, and all the other stuff, discs. Right, let's go. Let's see what else we can upgrade. Yeah, we can. What colour should we go for? Yeah, I quite like that colour. That looks awesome. Let's change the discs. Might as well go for the better disc. That gives us quite a bit more braking power. Suspension. I mean the forks. The suspension. Yep, that brings it up a little bit. Better handling. I'm not sure whether we're going to change any of that stuff. Actually, I'm going to leave the mirrors on this one. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to change anything on that. Those are the 2 colours you can have, and I think I'll stick with the silver. It looks quite good. And right, tyres. Let's see what tyres we can get. Right, that brings it up to 149. And obviously improves the handling, so that's well worth changing. And the wheels, let's see how much that is. Oh, that improves it quite a bit. Let's go for, which one should we go for? Them ones are not bad. What colour should we go for? Let's see what colours we got. There's quite a range of colours. That looks awesome. Which colour should we go for? Something that goes with silver. Should we go for, no, not. Nah, it's a bit too bright. Should we go for that colour? No. No. Actually, we'll go with the white. That's something that we haven't done. Right, guys, that's our bike upgraded. Right, let's jump into the first race. Oh, I cannot wait to race this. It should be really good fun. So let's get straight into it now, guys. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the first race. We're in the Eastern Mountains West Circuit. So let's just check out the other bikes. Yeah, so ours isn't the highest. There's a couple that have got 152 performance points. So let's just check the settings. Yeah, it's all on the same. Right, let's get into this first race. I'm going to race in first person. I think that'll look awesome on this bike. So we'll change up the view. And off we go. Let's see if we can get a victory on the Aprilia 125R. Let's try and get in a good position. Now, we're not going to be the quickest, so we're going to be really good in the corners. Let's try and get a nice tight line there. That's not bad. And, oh, God, a little bit of contact there as I turned into that corner. But you're going to absolutely be able to throw these around the corners. They literally don't weigh anything. Really, really light. And they do possess quite a decent power. Really tight onto that corner there. Trying to get a good drive. And quite a few bikes are pulling away. And I'm only in P6 at the start of this race. Let's see if we can get a bit of slipstream. And we've definitely got decent top end as we just pulled past. I think that was a TZR that we just went past. So we're definitely going to be quicker than the TZRs. They're only, I think their top end is quite a bit lower, but let's see if we can get a nice speed through this next corner. I think I definitely need to adjust the suspension slightly. It's just understeering slightly, but it feels pretty good. Like I said, it's quite a light bike, and you can throw it around the corner. We've managed to take a couple more places, so we're up to P4. That's not bad, but I think the leader of the race is really starting to pull away, so we're going to have to try and get on it. Let's try and get a nice section through here. Turn it into that corner and try and get a nice line through this corner. Not as smooth yet on the bike. It's just trying to, oh God, almost went into the barrier there. Got to be careful, getting a little bit too tight into that corner. Right, let's really open this bike out. Let's really try and catch and try and get it in slipstream. We're catching slightly. We need to try and get better through the corners. That's where we seem to be a little bit slower than the bikes in front, and that's not a bad drive through that corner. Right, we can get the slipstream. So that's the first lap out the way. That wasn't too bad. And now we can settle in, hopefully get in a better position. Let's get up the inside of that bike, nice and tight into that corner. Oh, that was really tight through there. We've managed to hold a position. No, he's come back around the inside. That was lucky. Just slight contact. You've got to be careful because a little bit too much contact and I will be sliding and skidding on my arse. So I've got to be careful. Right, let's try and get a nice tight line through here and see if we can gain a bit of speed. And we still are not gaining on the leader. So it looks like this race may be a little bit harder to win than I thought, so let's try and get past this one. We definitely have a little bit more pace on the straight than that bike. Let's see if we can get in the slipstream of this one. We might be able to get up the inside, can we? No, he's taking a decent line there, so we're having to back off slightly. But we definitely are not as quick through the corners as some of these other bikes, so we've got to be a little bit careful. We don't overdo it. Let's try and get a nice drive through that corner. Oh, it's taking me a little bit wider, but it's taking the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there again. Luckily, it wasn't too bad, but we've managed to slip past, but that was a really difficult turn there. Right, let's try and get nice and tight into this corner. We are starting to close on the leader, are we? No, we still got the bike right close behind us. Oh, did he touch me then? I felt a little bit of contact at the back there. The bike behind me is really trying to get past. Definitely, I am holding them up in the corners. Definitely not as quick, but we are gaining on the lead. Let's try and get in his slipstream. We've only got one more lap to go after this, so we've got to try and get a little bit closer to him. Let's try and improve the corners. No, he's taking a much better line. That's one improvement I will say that Milestone have made. They're making the AI go through the corners a hell of a lot quicker, and they don't brake as late. As soon as well. They brake a lot later than I do, so that's definitely a massive improvement. And we try and take a tight line through there. Have we managed to take the lead, or is he going to come up the inside? Oh, bloody hell! Oh my God, I thought I was going to go on. You absolute twat! What the hell? He almost took me out because he fucked up the corner as well there. Right, luckily I managed just to hold on there. Well, let's see if we can get back at him. Bloody hell, that was close. That really made me jump as well. I wasn't expecting it. Right, let's get him on the straight. We'll get right up his slipstream. Let's get right past him and see if we can get into this corner. Right, keep an eye on him on our mirrors this time because that was a really, really dangerous pass. Oh my God, he's still gone past. See what I mean? They're so much quicker in the corners. And I think he's on an NSR as well. I wasn't expecting the NSR to compete against the Aprilia, but he is. And I think he's got the same colours that we've got on our NSR, but bloody hell. Right, we're going to have to be on it now. We're going to have to be a lot quicker in these last few corners because we know that he's definitely quicker. Right, let's try and get a tight line to avoid him coming up the inside and flip it over here. I'm really worried that he's going to come up the inside. Just felt a bit of a moment there, and I think he just touched my back wheel again. This absolute idiot behind me is really, really trying to take me off in this race, and I don't know how I've managed to stay on with the contact that's already been made, but I've managed to survive. Luckily on the 125s, even with the contact, even on the Pro Physics, they are a little bit more stable, even after contact, I have noticed so far on these bikes. But I think we're just going to manage to hold on to it. But that was a really difficult last lap. So close. I do not know how I stayed on
with that contact on that lap, but we managed to do it and we take victory. But that was a good first experience, and but you got to look at it. It's still on an amateur tour. Once we get to the expert ones, that's when the races are going to get very, very difficult. So at the moment, we're doing okay. Right, let's get into another race, guys, and test this bike out even more. So here we go. Awesome, guys, we've opened another invitational event, and I've noticed there's actually one that I can do on this 125 Aprilia, which is awesome. But these are the other two that I could do, but I don't think I've got a bike suitable for these two events, so I think I'll stick to the Aprilia. But after this invitational event, we will do something else in this episode as well. We will check something else, but these are the bikes that are up for a reward. An Aprilia RS250, which is awesome, and a KTM RC 390. I don't even know, I've never seen one of them before, so that's interesting. Right, let's jump into this and see if we can get the win. So here we go. Right, so here we go with this invitation event around Nürburgring GP. We know this circuit well. We've done loads of like trials around here, time attacks, and it's quite a short circuit, so we should be okay on this 125. It's perfect for this sort of circuit. So let's see if we can get it. And I do like the fact these events give you a chance to earn not just a reward, but a decent amount of credits as well. So let's see if we can win it. Let's see if we can get nice and tight here. We're starting to settle in on this 125, and I'm finding they're really good round in the corners. Once I got used to it in the last race, you can really chuck them into the corners. It was just the AI being a little bit brutal into the corners that I found difficult at the last race, but hopefully we should be alright in this one. So we're up to P2 already. That's a good start. Let's see if we can get into this section really slow. You have to slow it down here. This can be quite difficult here. If you remember in my last episode in the CBR, I crashed it quite a lot around that section. Found it a lot. This circuit's not really suitable for the more powerful bikes. Perfect for these because you can just chuck them into the corners. Now that's one thing I will say, guys, you can feel the difference on the size of bike, the power and the weight, definitely in the corners. I think on the bigger bikes you do have to probably set them up a lot different, the suspension and that, because they understeer a hell of a lot more. These not too bad, and it seems to be a little bit smoother, but the lack of power always helps, as you know, because when I was struggling on that event last episode, I went onto the R6 and absolutely breezed it. So that's definitely something that I have noticed, and that's good. Can we slip past this bike up the inside? And that's much tighter through there. That's a nice run up the hill, and that's perfect. So we're into the lead. Let's try and be careful. They doesn't come up the inside through there. That's not too bad. Be careful. We don't lose it through there. Just keep it nice and tight, and that's not too bad. That's nice and smooth as well. And we're going to the final lap. And I'm not sure what I'm going to choose for my reward. I might have a look at that KTM. It's not a bike that I've seen before, and it's always good to try something new. But we will have a look once we finish this race. Let's see if we can get a nice tight line and finish off with a decent lap. Let's get nice and tight and get a nice speed up the hill. I think we're managing just to pull away. I don't think he's going to catch us. I think we've pulled away slightly, which is always good. Now these races are only 3 laps. But again, we're still on the amateur tours. It is going to get a lot harder, guys. Just trust me. Once we get to the pro tours and stuff like that, that's when the races are going to get very extreme, and we're not going to be winning the races as easily, if any. We don't even know. We've still got some of the endurance races to come in the North. I think the Wales tour. We've got Nürburgring as well to do. Oh God, that's going to be hard. So there you go, guys. We managed to get a win, and now it's all about getting our reward. So you get a decent amount of credits in that. So that's 20,000 credits, which is always welcomed, and some more reputation points, which is good as well to move up the leaderboard. So let's get into getting our reward, guys. Hopefully this bike is going to be awesome. But we're starting to build up a decent garage as well, which is really good. So let's get straight into it, guys. And let's have a look at this new bike. So here we go. Right, so these are the 2 bikes we can choose from, and we've just bought a Aprilia 125. So should I go for the KTM? Now, like I said, I haven't seen this bike before, and that's got decent performance. Let's have a look at the KTM. Slightly less performance points, but it's something that I haven't seen before. Is it worth going for this one? I think so. We could always buy the 250 at a later date when we've got loads of credits. I think I'm going to try this one. I think it's something new. We'll definitely try this out in an event. I'm not sure what events it will be suitable for, but we're going to try the KTM, and it does look very futuristic. It looks really nice actually, and I do like the KTMs. So that's a new bike to the garage. Right guys, we're going to jump into something different now. We're going to try a different event on a different bike. So we're going to jump into that now. So here we go. Right guys, we're going to try something in the Pro Racing Talk, guys. So we're going to jump into that now. So here we go.
These bikes embody one of man's deepest desires. Fighting for victory. In these races, you will find the perfect balance between every bike's style and the search for top performance. The engineers have turned them into race animals. Only a real rider can take them to the edge. If you're looking to challenge both yourself and the stopwatch, you'll find the ideal test bench in the pro racing events.
Right guys, so these are the tours available in this Pro Racing section, and I'll tell you what, I can't actually afford the bikes for these three. They're over 100,000 coins for the bikes, but I have got a supermoto. So we might do some upgrades on our supermoto and do one of the road races in here, guys. And then we will finish off on a event on the 125 again. So we'll do one of these road races. I might do that Italian course. So let's get straight into it, guys. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the road race around this Italian road circuit. This should be interesting on the road on one of these bikes. So we're within a chance. We've got the performance points and all the levels are the same. Right, let's get straight into this race. And this should be interesting. Now, we've done one race on this, but it was a circuit race. So this is going to be a little bit more open. And this is a circuit that was on the first ride. So I do know this one well. This is the shorter club version, I think, of this circuit. So it's quite short. So let's see what this is like handling wise. Oh God, doesn't turn into the corners very well. And oh dear, they're all over the place. Look at the AI weaving from side to side. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I'm finding it hard enough to turn into the corners. Oh God, it really is difficult to turn these into the corners. Definitely, I have upgraded the bike slightly to give it a little bit more power. Haven't adjusted the suspension, but I think it definitely needs that. But let's see what it's like top end wise. Let's see what it maxes. So it's maxing out on 112. So it's not the quickest top end. I didn't think these would be very quick. So these road races, you're going to be ragging the bike completely, and we're managing to get past. So we must have a better top end than some of these bikes in our league. Let's see if we can get up the inside of this one here. Let's get a nice line through here. Oh God, I almost hit the wall. Slow it down. They don't react too well under braking, and definitely are difficult. I can feel the back end wanting to slide as I'm turning into the corners, trying to get a nice line here. Oh my God, I'm really not turning. Oh, just shut the gravel, don't come off. Oh, almost came off there, guys. Yeah, they do not like turning into the corners. That's definitely something we're going to have to get used to. Hopefully we haven't totally mucked up our chances of winning this race, but that was a real lucky scare there. We almost come off. I felt the back end just wanting to go, but I managed just to back off and hold it. Luckily this bike doesn't go too quick, and it hasn't got too much power. But let's see if we can get back up the inside of this bike in front of us. See if we can get up the inside into this corner. Let's try and slow it down a bit more. Just keep on dabbing that back brake a bit. Oh, that's a bit better through there. It's still not smooth, and we're going onto the gravel again. Yep, it definitely doesn't like turning, but this is where the challenge comes in. I mean, some of these races on these bikes are going to be really difficult because they don't handle like sports bikes do, and they're going to be quite difficult on the cornering. So we're going to have to try and get a little bit better. And again, like I've said already in a couple of races in today's episode, we're still only on the amateur tours. It's going to get a lot harder, so we're going to have to try and really get some practice in. So let's see if we can get a nice line through here. We've managed to gain one more place. See if we can get up the inside of this one here. No, we slightly backed off because we know we're not great. The corners don't. Almost went straight to the back of him there, but just backed off. Right, we really mucked up this corner to try and slow it down a bit this time and stay away from the gravel. That's a lot smoother through there, but we're definitely not as quick as the AI through the corners. So that's been a pattern in today's episode. We're definitely finding that the AI are better in the corners. They leave their braking a lot later, and that's where we lose a lot of time. So that's something we're definitely going to have to improve, hopefully with a little bit of practice. Also guys, let me know what you feel about the views. Do you like seeing it in this view? Do you want me to go back? Oh god, a bit of contact there. Do you want me to go back in third person, helmet cam? I will mix it up. I do not mind. I do like experience all the different views, and we've managed just to hold it in that corner. Just have to back off slightly. I thought we were going to crack into each other again, and we are leading on this third lap, but can I hold on to it? We've got to be careful on those corners again, just making sure he's not going to come back up the inside. Let's try and hold that line. But we've on our max speed, 112 miles an hour, trying to hold it nice and tight there, and I think we've managed just to pull away, so we're actually hopefully should be able to get the win here. But we're going to finish off with an event on the Aprilia 125. I think we might tackle either a skill event or a time attack. We will have a look at the end of this race. But yes, it's been good. It's been good so far. I am enjoying all the different bikes on this game, and we are building up a decent garage as we went close onto the gravel again. Really struggled to slow it down in that corner, trying to hold the speed, but I think the lead was slightly better, so we just changed the views. But let me know in the comments below what you prefer to see. And there you go guys, we get another win on the supermotos. But it is going to get a lot harder, I know it is. But you've got to take the credits. So let's see how many credits we get for that. So we get just over 6,000 credits, which is awesome. But we still are only managing to buy a bike and upgrade it each episode. So the credit system is difficult. Because like I said in some of those other events in the Pro Racing Series, there were over 100,000. And that's not even including upgrades. So we've got a long way to go. But this is going to be a big walkthrough. So we will get there in the end. We will build up the credits. And we might do some episodes where we don't spend any credits. Because I think spending the credits on every single bike is going to just kill your balance, so we've got to try and be a little bit better with that. Right, let's get into another event now, guys. So here we go. Right, guys, we're going to tackle a time attack North Wales circuit, but we're going to go straight back onto the Aprilia 125 and see if we can do this challenge. I mean, the times look pretty damn good, and I remember this circuit from the last ride, so let's get straight in. Right, so here we go with the last event of the episode around this North Wales North Circuit, and it's at a different time at night. As you can see, it's the sun setting, and the time we got to achieve is a 1:30 to get the gold. Now, I have had some experience around the circuit on the old ride, but not on this one, so hopefully we'll be okay, but I'm not sure whether I'll do it first time, but we're going to do it in first person, and let's see how it goes. Last time I did one of these events, I had to go in third person because I just couldn't do it. But let's see if we can do it in this view. We're on the 125, the handling is pretty good, and let's see if we can do it. So here we go. Let's get into the first couple of corners, just keeping an eye on that map. I've got to remember the circuit. It's not too long. Let's see if we get a nice tight line through there, just dabbing that back brake, trying to hold that line through there. And I think the road, there's got a couple of tough corners on here I've got to be aware of, but at the moment it's been okay. So our bike is almost up to full speed there. Just slow it down, and had to slow it down there. And it turns to the left here. Let's try and hold and try and get a nice line through there and hold the speed. That was pretty smooth through there. So that's not bad. We're going okay at the start of this. Right, we've got another tough couple of corners coming up. Let's try and hold it. Slow it down. Almost gone to the curb there. But just managing to slow it down and turning it over. Yes, that was pretty smooth through there. And we're going okay. So we're almost a minute into the circuit. And I feel pretty comfortable. But I do like the setting. I do like the fact that they've got weather on this. And they've got different times in the night. Right, slow it down. That's a difficult section there. We managed to just slow it down and up the hill. So we're coming towards the end. So we are pretty close to doing this. Can we get that time?
And we've got one more corner, and we're close to it, guys. Are we going to get the 130 first time? Oh, it's going to be close, right close to the wall there. And I think we're going to do it just over the finish line. Oh, we did it in 125. That's not a bad first attempt. Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So that's more credits. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, guys. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. There is loads to come from this series. I'm telling you, so many bikes on this game, and there's DLC to come as well. It's just going to be massive. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.